frustrating. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, to be honest, when our flight got cancelled yesterday and we bussed down and looked at the forecast, I actually didn't even think we would get on. So, yeah, it's disappointing. Like I said earlier, I think just for this young group to have a series decider and see that group under pressure would have been really great. But yeah, it is what it is. And yeah, pleased with how we went about it with the bat and tough conditions coming on and off. And I thought Georgia was outstanding with her tempo in that situation, and Izzy Sharp as well, and only a third game to come out and give it a bit of a whack as well.
So I think you waited for approximately forever to play a game there for the White Ferns. And Polly was looking forward to it too. And she sung the national anthem on this, but how deflating is it and how disappointing for you would it be?
Yeah, for her and Eden, like you said, I hadn't played in Dunedin for New Zealand for a long time, and now we get a few more opportunities. So it's a shame when the weather doesn't play its part. And yeah, Polly and Eden have had such outstanding seasons for the Sparks, and Eden with New Zealand, and yeah, it would have been nice for those two and for their friends and family. But I think they're pretty level-headed, those two, and I'm sure there'll be plenty more opportunities for them.
I wasn't aware you never played here. You're Australia in 3 days, so are you prepared?
Yeah, I think when you've had a full domestic summer, we've had a series against Sri Lanka, we're as ready as we can be. Obviously, the squad's going to change, but there'll be a core group still there. And yeah, we've been talking about that series ever since the World Cup, knowing that we've got that World Champions tag, and Australians don't like to hear that. So we know we're going to have a really tough match-up against one of the best sides in the world, and we're going to be ready for that. And we've had plenty of cricket, so there's no excuses there.
Any selection dilemmas? Because some of the players who had an opportunity over the last week or so burst up, haven't they?
Yeah, look, everyone I think who's got an opportunity has put their hand up at some stage, and luckily that's out of my scope, and I can just sit back and they can tell me the team. But that's what they've been looking for in the White Ferns setup for the last 18 months. We've got sort of 3 World Cups. We've had 2 more World Cups in the next 18 months, and we want it to be a really competitive environment where if you perform, you get rewarded, and there's going to be people knocking on the door for selection, and that's going to be the case for this Aussie series. And I'm not sure what the squad's going to look like, but whatever it is, we have some depth there, and we still have injuries as well, but I think we're covered in all areas at the moment.
What's it like having Brie Elling in the team, a quality left armour? She fun to place in the net. What's it like having her on the side?
Oh, that is the benefit of playing domestic cricket. I faced her a lot in the Super Smash, one game HBJ, so as a batter facing up against her with the new ball, I found her a real challenge. So I knew what she could do with the new ball firsthand, actually facing it. And yeah, every time I've given her the ball this series, she's done a job. She's taken wickets, she swings the ball, she bowls quick. And yeah, to have Chamari almost as her bunny is pretty cool for a first series. She was able to get her out early, which helped us win a lot of games. So I love the option. I think New Zealand cricket and the White Ferns love having that option because they're few and far between in the country.
And probably cover this a bit, but Georgia Plum, she played some glorious shots out there today, lofted a couple of sixes over long on. So what do you make of her innings? She seems to be on top of her game at the moment.
Yeah, she is, and anyone who's been in the side with Georgia knows that she was going to be successful, and we saw that at the World Cup, how well she played opening, and then that 100 against Sri Lanka, that's one of the best innings I've seen her play. And 2020 cricket, the nature of that is if you play in that style, sometimes you miss out, and we gave her a bit of grief about the DRS because she actually wasn't out, is what I've heard. So, look, she's just going to play with that style, and some days it'll come off, but the way she's hitting down the ground, taking on the spinners, and just the maturity she's showing for such a young age. But it's no surprise to anyone who's around Georgia with the work that she puts in. And Dean Brownlee, she chews his ear off about everything cricket she possibly can, so she's just going to get better and better.
Thanks very much, Susie.
All good.
Suzie, how much are you enjoying the crowds that are coming out for these double hitters?
Yeah, I feel like we would have had a few more had the weather played part, but I did say to the girls, Dunedin cricket watchers know they need to dress for all occasions and bring their brollies and blankets. But yeah, Hagley Oval, brilliant day, the sun was out, and just the profile and support that you feel is gathering, and every time you go to a ground and people wanting autographs and knowing everyone's names, and that's definitely changed in my career. And it's just it makes me so proud to see how many people want to watch the women's game and obviously the men's game as well.
In Eden Park, Bay Oval and Sky Stadium, we've got coming up. Do you have a favourite, or are you looking forward to playing all of them?
Well, I feel like the ground, maybe not, but we all love the Mount. So going to Cutters Cove and the beach and being able to play in Mount Maunganui, always get good crowds. I think Eden Park is not a ground we've played at a lot, and just the history behind that stadium. And even when we played there with the World Cup, the noise that you get from everyone feeling like they're on top of you, it's a real good atmosphere. So probably Eden Park in terms of the ground, but the others, I know there'll be a few people looking forward to Wellington. We've got a lot of Wellington players.
This is our last kind of, I guess, bout of international cricket until the World Cup at the moment. I guess how important is it to really take this series and make it our own?
Yeah, we've got the 50 over World Cup, which we're planning towards, but yeah, the next 20 over World Cup is going to come around really quickly, and we don't have a big diet of 20 over cricket, so the coaching staff have known that these 6 games before next year's 20 over World Cup in England are really important, and that's why they've tried to have a look at some other players. And yeah, so this is going to be a really big series in terms of our squad, but also just in terms of Australia being on our shores and us wanting to really compete hard with them.
Yeah, lastly, Australia obviously going to be hungry to get one back over us after the World Cup. I guess how are you guys going to approach them?
Yeah, I think we might not mention that we're world champions as much to them. Just they don't need extra motivation, but yeah, they're the type of team that you have to take it to them. You have to be positive. Any time you get under pressure, the positive option is the right way. And they keep coming at you with the bat, and they've got some very experienced bowlers. But we know even the series before the World Cup in Mackay, we were in those games for almost 35 overs of it, and we just let moments slip. So if we can do that for the full 40 overs, we know we can compete.